You will make it through. The Fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The Fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
All right, before we get into the lecture, quiz from yesterday. Here we go. First question. Everybody can see that? Here we go. In the Hadith, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, every child is born upon the Fitrah. This means that every child is born with a natural instinct to do what? Explain what that hadith means. When the Prophet said every child, every human being that is born upon the Fitrah, that hadith means what? We went over the true meaning of that hadith yesterday. Most Muslims don't understand the meaning of this hadith, but you guys should know the meaning because we talked about the true meaning. What does it mean? They're born with a natural instinct to do what? Okay, Sister Yasmin said it means the natural instinct to worship Allah. Is her answer correct? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Does that hadith mean that every child is born with the natural instinct to worship Allah? Just say yes or no. Do you guys think that her answer is correct? Say yes or no. How many of you think she's correct? How many? No. No. This answer is wrong, Yasmin. And this is the answer that most Muslims on planet Earth give. And this answer is wrong. That is not what this hadith means. That is not what el-Fitrah means. El-Fitrah does not mean to worship Allah. That is not what this hadith means. And I went over it yesterday. Okay, Sister S. She said that this hadith means that every child is born with a natural instinct to do good and to worship Allah and to submit. Is her answer correct? Say either yes or no.
No.
No, this answer is not correct either. That's not the meaning of this hadith either. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of Muslims, we read the hadiths and we read the Quran and we don't understand what we're reading. This is why the Prophet Muhammad said we have to learn the religion from the people of knowledge. And this is why, as an Islamic educator, I'm always telling you guys, every Muslim should have a teacher. All the companions, they had a teacher. I have a teacher. I should be able to ask every Muslim that I come upon, who's your teacher? And you should be able to tell me who your teacher is. And the person should be a bona fide, qualified teacher. A teacher who knows the meaning of the Quran, who knows the meaning of the Hadiths. You can't teach yourself this religion. And you don't learn Islam by using Wikipedia. You don't learn Islam by using Google. You have to sit, as the Prophet Muhammad said. What's the source? Sahih Muslim for all of this, and Sahih Bukhari. He said you have to sit in the company of the people of knowledge and learn directly from them, like you guys are doing here. You're sitting here at your computer with me, learning directly from me. I am teaching you directly from the books. I'm giving you the meaning. I'm quizzing you, giving you exams and all of that. So Pamela said she believes this means that every child is born with the natural instinct to know their Lord. Is her answer correct? Is that what that hadith means? Yes or no? Nope, that's not correct either. None of these answers are correct. See? And if I was to walk around from city to city and city, I probably wouldn't get any correct answer yet from anybody. Most Muslims can't, just like that other hadith. What's another famous hadith that people twist around? Marriage is 50% of your deen. Oh my God, that one really makes me want to vomit. They think that just because I get married and have sex with my husband, all of a sudden, Allah has sent 50% of the knowledge of Islam into my brain. So I ain't got to do nothing except just get married, have sex, and now I know everything I need to know, at least half of what I need to know about Islam. And that hadith ain't got nothing to do with knowledge at all. It's talking about controlling your private parts. And the other 50% is controlling your tongue against gossip and backbiting. See how twisted a nation we are today. So, what did the Prophet Muhammad mean when he said every child is born upon Fitrah? What did he mean? What does that hadith really mean? Who can give me the answer? Sister Laila, let me hear it from you. What does that hadith mean?
It means that they're born on one, they crave the truth and submission to Allah.
Exactly. I want every Muslim listening to me to write this down. When the Prophet said every child is born upon Fitrah. Fitrah is an Arabic term that means the truth and submission to the will of Allah. What the Prophet meant was every child comes into this world craving the truth and craving to submit to the will of Allah. That's what that means. So every child comes into this world seeking knowledge of the truth. We come into this world, basically, we're trying to find our way back to Allah. Because before we came in this world, we were with Allah up there. Our souls were up there with Allah. We were kept up there with Allah. We knew the truth. We knew the truth. And we were not exposed to all this deception here. We were somewhere else. not exposed to none of this corruption, not exposed to none of this criminality. We were not exposed to none of this lies of this dunya. But when Allah had our souls placed in the womb of our parents, and we come into this world, and our fitrah is detached from the soul and is now placed in a body. We didn't have this body before. Now we come in this world in body and soul, and we don't remember anything about where we came from. We don't remember Allah. We don't remember the angels. We don't remember paradise. We don't remember Arafat. We don't remember testifying to La ilaha illallah. We don't remember coming from the loins of Adam. We don't remember being souls kept in a place only known by Allah. We don't have no recollection of any of that. So we come in this world as babies, like, what is this? So even though we have no memory, the fitrah, it's like, wait a minute, something's missing. Something is missing. It has a natural instinct to know that something's wrong, that something is different. It's trying to find its way back to where it came from. It's trying to find its way back home to Allah. It's craving the truth. It's craving to be as it was in submission. That's the fitrah. So what are you calling yourself a revert for? You ain't in that state. You haven't been in that state since you entered into this world. I haven't been in that state since I entered into this world. None of us are in that state. We're not in that state in body or none of that. This world is not the same as the hereafter. We're not the same here as we were there. As the prophet said, these two things are not the same. So why would any person call himself a revert? You're nothing like you were there. You're a convert to Islam. You converted. You found the truth. When you embrace this religion, you found the truth. But you still have to journey back to the way you were up there. You still ain't how you were up there. There's no criminality up there. You're still not a revert. You're still not in your original state. None of us will ever be in that original state. Not even a person who was born a Muslim. We will never be in that original state of submission until we cross that Sirat bridge. Do you Muslims listening to Laila understand what she's saying? Ain't none of you a revert, and you never will be one until you cross that Sirat bridge. Then you can say you have reverted. As of now, you're all converts on a long journey back to Allah. All of us. Y'all understand that? That's Tawheed. That's aqeedah. Don't get it twisted. Okay? All right. So, look at the next question. We also spoke about how, as we embark upon this journey back to Allah, we're not the same because we're in a different world. We have a heart. We didn't have a heart before. We have a heart and we have a soul. How do the heart and soul different? Who can answer that? How do the heart and the soul differ?
The heart and,
and
soul
by
is
the
different
way,
because
whoever this is that sent me a text message, this person named Walter. Hold on for a second. Wait a minute. Hold on for a second. I got a question here. Wait a minute. By the way, guys, why don't y'all try to stick to the topic that I'm teaching, which is about the Fitrah, instead of dealing with stuff that has nothing to do with this topic. The Prophet Muhammad used to wear his hair long, and the Prophet Muhammad used to wear a red robe. So yes, this hadith is authentic, but he did not have dreadlocks. If you're trying to justify wearing dreadlocks, dreadlocks are haram. The Prophet used to comb his hair, but sometimes the Prophet wore his hair long, and sometimes his Prophet wore his hair short. There's nothing wrong with you brothers having long hair. You can wear your hair long as you don't look like a woman, a girl, and as long as you comb through it, as long as you comb through your hair. The Prophet said anyone who has hair should comb through it. Take a comb and comb through it. Get the kinks out. And you have to oil it on a regular basis and wash it. You can't do that with locks. And there's nothing wrong with a man wearing red. So yes, that hadith is authentic, but I want you brothers to pay attention to what I'm teaching. You need to learn aqeedah. You're not going to find anything that's going to justify you wearing dreadlocks. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the jinn walk around with their hair locked up in knots. That's Sahih Bukhari. He said anyone who has hair should be able to take a comb and comb through it. That means your comb should be able to go through your hair. You can't comb through a lock. But if you want to let your hair grow long and braid it, there's nothing wrong with that. The Prophet used to wear braids. When he came to Medina to migrate, he had his hair in braids. Aisha used to braid his hair up. But the Prophet didn't look like a jinn. He wasn't nasty. He wasn't dirty. He wasn't filthy. He didn't let his hair nap up. He was none of that trifling stuff that you brothers look like today. Y'all look like Rastafarian trifling people. He was nothing like you. No. And Allah knows best. Stick with my topic. What's the answer to this question? How does the heart and soul differ? And Allah knows best. Go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say that the heart and soul different because Allah, when Allah created us, and we're born, our heart is inclined to search for the truth and submit to Allah, but the soul is attracted to things that are bad and dirty. So it's just two different. They're not the same.
Exactly. The heart is inclined towards what is good and clean. And the soul is attracted to what is bad and dirty. That's the main difference. The heart is attracted to everything that is good and clean. Whereas the human soul is attracted to everything that's bad and dirty. The soul is attracted to marijuana. The soul is attracted to dreadlocks. The soul doesn't want to comb its hair. The soul wants its hair to grow and lock up and look like Rastafarians. Where the heart tells you, no, be different, be clean, be handsome. Okay? Also, which one of them has an angel assigned to them? And which one has a jinn that likes to steer it?
The heart.
One at a time. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Gucci. No, I was just saying the heart has an angel assigned to it, and the soul has a jinn assigned to it.
Yes, the heart has an angel. We're going to talk about that in another class. There's also, we have a jinn assigned to our heart, but there's also an angel assigned to the heart too. Okay, we're going to talk about that. The jinn likes to whisper to that heart, and it whispers, it really likes to play with that soul. But we're going to talk about how most Muslims don't understand that we have an angel assigned to our heart too. And that angel, inspires us to do good. Whereas that jinn will whisper to do evil. See, Allah is so merciful. Allah tries to give us even better pros in our favor to come out winners. But even with all the pros that Allah gives us, most of us are going to be losers. That's really sad. What about this question? True or false? Shaitan has no power over those who believe in Allah.
True.
Does everybody agree? Shaitan has no power over a person who believes in Allah. Everybody agree?
True.
Exactly. This is true. If you truly believe in Allah, if you truly believe in Allah, Shaitan has no power over you. If a person truly believes in Allah and trusts in Him and fears His punishment, you ain't got to worry about Allah. About Shaitan taking you away from Allah. I had a sister ask me this question just yesterday when we were dealing with some of the drama here. I had a sister come in here and ask me that question yesterday. Well, Sister Laila, what is it? Why come that some sisters fall victim? She called it falling victim. Why is it that some sisters do fall victim to the shenanigans of men and some don't? Shaitan, he makes some of us fall. I said, no, you sisters that do fall victim to the private messages and the sexcapades with the men. You are women that aren't true in your belief. That's the reality. Because Shaitan has no power over the women who truly believe in Allah and who fear His punishment. I ain't never fall for that crap. Nobody gonna sit up here and play pity pat with Laila. That's an insult. I say you sisters are weak in your belief. You don't fear His punishment. Y'all done got away with doing it so much that you think it's nothing. Ain't no problem. You ain't got caught. Okay? The stronger your faith, the harder it is for Shaitan to take you down, sisters. That's why I tell y'all got to work on strengthening your belief in Allah, strengthening your fear of Him, because that makes it harder for Shaitan to take you down. Watch who you hanging out with. Y'all hanging around with these sisters that don't practice. You hanging around with the same type of women that are like you. You hanging around with women who are weak in faith, weak in practice like you. I try to hang out with strong sisters. I got 2 best friends. Just 2. They strong. They stronger than me. My best friend. I keep telling y'all she the president of CARE. I'm always talking about her. She's stronger than me. She got 10, 20 kids. She ain't got that many. I always tease her. She got a bunch of kids. She got a husband. She's strong. Polite, mannerable. She always telling me, now, Laila, Come on now. You have to control yourself. Get your temper together now, Laila. You know, I try to hang around. My two best friends are stronger than me. I always hang around with people that are stronger than me. They're strong where I'm weak. Whatever shortcomings I have, they're stronger than me so that they can help me to be better than what I am. I ain't gonna hang around with some women, some sisters that are weaker than me that's gonna take me down to the road to hell. What I need them for friends for? I'm gonna fall down to the hellfire with them. It's gotta be somebody stronger and tougher in their faith than I am. Somebody that's gonna cause me to fear Allah more than I fear him. Not somebody that's going to cause me to weaken. SubhanAllah. I need somebody that's going to remind me of what's going to happen if I even weaken to enough to think to take a hijab off. Not some sister that's weaker than me, who's not only not wearing a hijab, but smoking cigarettes and doing drugs and fornicating, adulterating, having sexcapades with men. I can't be with nobody like that. That person would destroy me. So you sisters need to seek strong practicing sisters to surround yourself with. They'll help pick you up and build you up. That's why I ain't got but two friends in life. And they've been my friends since I was 12 years old. And they stronger than me. All right, so let's get to the topic today. What are the other, and the class is short too, so that's why I made the quiz a little longer. Let's get to the topic today. What are the other two obstacles that stand between your fitrah connecting and finding its way back to Allah? Well, number 4, heedlessness. And we talked about this before. Heedlessness. Heedlessness occurs when we favor the life of this world and its distractions over our relationship with Allah. We lose our connection with Allah because our concentration shifts from him to this world. You know, so we end up losing, you know, our moral judgment. That's why it's important to remember that Allah created us with an inherent insight into our Creator. Remember, we talked about how we were created right after Allah created Adam. That's when he created us, our souls, and had us testify to his existence and to him being the one and the only, and how we were supposed to understand that he's first and foremost over everything. Okay, so our inner light, the fitrah, it can become misdirected by different factors, including our surroundings and Shaitan's deceptive lies. Whenever we neglect our inner light, which is our fitrah, and we succumb to the life of this world, that's when we lose our way. So to build a strong connection with Allah, and in order to experience true fulfillment, we have to embrace and nourish our fitrah. When we fail to do this, that's when we end up succumbing to the life of this world and disconnecting from Allah. That's how people end up apostating. A sister could have been a good sister, a good practicing Muslim. Then years later, you come upon her. She ain't wearing no hijab. She ain't practicing no more. She lost that inner light. Okay. Her actions became motivated by selfish desires. Her actions were no longer for the sake of Allah. Remember, Allah tells us in the interpretation of the meaning, remember when your Lord brought forth from the children of Adam, from their loins, their seed, and made them testify as to themselves, saying, am I not your Lord? And they said, yes, we testify. Remember, that's why I said you don't know what Fitrah means. We testify. We were created right after Adam. We come into this world. We done forgot everything. We come into this world having forgot everything. So we come in this world seeking to remember the truth. We come into this world seeking to find our way back to the truth. We come in this world craving knowledge of the truth, knowledge of submittance to Allah. Okay? So the Fitrah stresses the significance of awakening and nurturing our inner light. Recognizing its significance is what prompts us to reassess our goals, to seek the truth, and live more meaningfully, guys. That's what it's about. You're not reverting back to worshiping Allah. You ain't worshiped him yet. You just came in this world. You don't remember what worship is. You don't know nothing. You don't remember anything. You got to learn. How can you worship something that you don't even remember? You don't even know what worship is. You have to seek the truth. You have to learn what worship means. Learn what there is to worship first. Okay? So this verse here serves as a reminder that every human being possesses the inner light, that inner desire to acknowledge and submit to Allah. That's what Fitrah is. It's the light, that desire, that need to acknowledge, that need to submit. But you got to learn and what it is you're acknowledging and submitting to. Okay? And this is a vital part of our existence and identity. And it can become jeopardized if we are heedless of it. Okay? And then the fifth thing that stands in the way of our Fitrah, of course, is the forgetfulness that we all suffer with as human beings. We come in this world forgetful. We don't remember nothing that happened before we came here. And forgetfulness is a common human trait that we inherited from our father. We inherited from Adam. We inherited this characteristic from Adam. Let me tell you how forgetfulness is inherited. When Allah created Adam and he wiped over his back and our souls appeared, there was one soul out of all of our souls that stood out the most. It was real light. He said, whose soul is that? And the angel said, that's the soul of your son, Dawood, Prophet David. And Adam said, how long is he going to live? And they said, he's going to live for 60 years. Adam was so fascinated with his soul that Adam said, give 40 years. Take 40 years from me and give it to him. So Allah took 40 years of life from Adam and gave it to Dawood. This hadith is authentic. This hadith is Sahih Muslim, guys. So later, when Allah put Adam and his wife Eve on earth, when the time for Adam's death came, when the angel of death came to take Adam's soul, Adam said, I got 40 years left. The angel of death said, no, you don't. You gave 40 of those 40 years to one of your offspring, the one named David. Adam forgot. He said, no, I didn't. I didn't give those 40 years away. And the angel of death told him, yes, you did. So that's how that's how all of us are forgetful. So all human beings, we inherited the characteristic of forgetfulness from Prophet Adam, because Adam forgot that he gave away 40 years of his life to Prophet David. Okay, so that's how we all forget to this day. We inherited from our father, Adam, alayhi salam. So, okay, so this is something else that can stand in the way of our fitrah finding its way back to Allah, forgetfulness. This is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam encouraged us as Muslims to seek knowledge of this religion on a regular basis. Don't ever get too content or too satisfied and think that you know it all. And this is something I have to tell the elderly sisters a lot. Don't think that you know this religion because you live 60 years and I'm 80 years old. I know my deen. Nobody knows it all. That's a lesson that Allah had to teach Prophet Moses with the story of aqeedah. Don't ever think that you know it all, that there's nothing that you can learn, because we forget. I sit here for over 50 years teaching the same thing over and over and over again. I teach aqeedah, tawheed, hadiths over and over. I can forget though. By me teaching the same classes over and over, it helps to keep me remembering. It helps to keep me from forgetting these hadiths. It helps to keep me from forgetting this information. That's why we read the Quran over and over every Ramadan at least. Because like Allah says in the Quran, it keeps us from forgetting. We don't want to make the same mistake the Jews did. They forgot Allah's book. So as we can see, these are, 5 instances or 5 obstacles that can stand in the way of our fitrah, our inner light, that desire to seek the truth, that desire to submit to Allah, that need to find its way back to Allah. These obstacles can stand in the way. So before applying allegiance and disassociation to rekindle that fire in our heart, we have to acknowledge the harm, that can be afflicted to that light. And unfortunately, guys, living in a secular world like we're living in today, there's so many outlets that can help to contaminate or put out the light of our fitrah, like the media, like education, different philosophies. That's why I love this book, because we're going to look at the different, how philosophy and the media and how different educations have diluted the concept of La ilaha illallah, how we have all these different sets and groups of so-called Muslims who have diluted the Shahada to the point where people say they believe in Allah, but they don't believe in Al-Qadr the way they should. They don't believe in the angels as they should, and all of that. So I'm going to stop right